Alrighty guys, thank you so much for joining me on this flight today. I'm just testing out a few settings, not really that hard. We're just waiting for... Thank you so much for joining me on this flight today. Alright, so we're just testing a few settings, just adjusted one or two things, and I'm just ensuring that it works the way that it should. Right now I'm just pulling up our weight and balance and everything here, just verifying our alternate and our complete final reserve. Um, right, our final reserve is well, basically, let's say about 2000, 2.0. Alright, our cruising altitude, flight level should be 350, right? There we go, 350. Enter that in there. Let me check, I'm just checking everything here. Average wind 311 at 29. I see a deviation 12. There we go. We're gonna execute that. Planned fuel is 7.0. Put that in. Our N1 limit here. We are gonna be take off the rate 2. And I am just getting our the rate performance calculations here. So we're selected temp 49. If you adjust this before you change this, you're gonna remove this. So you gotta change to your new rate, and then you're gonna go have to enter your selected outside air temperature. So take off now. We're flaps 5 for today. All right, this is automatically done, by the way, if you guys are wondering. All right, so our average runway wind 0 at 0. So winds are calm. All right, so winds are calm. Our runway slope today. Do we got a slope? I don't think we have a runway slope. All right, good point. Oh no, you can't put it in. That's I completely forgot that. All right, so 139, 140, 148. All right, so let's put 148 here. That's 18, no, 148. And let's increase our airspeed here to about 170. Get our flight directors 2 on. And our pre-flight is completed today. We already got refueled already, so let's go ahead and complete the remainder of our pre-flight setup. Verify everything here is okay. Yaw dampening is on. FFC both to normal. Source to auto. Okay. Not going by a specific checklist again. This is just a test flight. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop on our ACARS right now. We're using Pegasus for this flight. All right, so let's check our booking. Let's start that flight with Pegasus. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start our APU. APU is coming on. All right, let's go ahead and get our board in. Our APU is gonna be running for a little bit. I wanna get off a lot of things here. Station, airport data. M position, click for traffic. Alright, our aft cargo door. No.
Do you want to board crew?
We're just boarding crew.
Boarding starting.
Board cargo door, system page. This is one of the most annoying things ever. Okay, so they're opened. It's easier with PMDG. PMDG setup is pretty cool. I wasn't gonna fly the PMDG, but apparently I forgot to refresh my liveries before, so it's not working the way that I want it to work here today. And I'm pulling up my Navigator charts here today so that we could get our charts going. Again, this is just a short test of adjusting a few settings. I just adjusted a few settings on my PC. Changed my integrated graphics in my BIOS. I disabled that to see if this will be doing a little bit better for us.
Your crew has boarded.
Yep, thank you.
Hello. Passengers boarding starting.
Alright, ramp control, north and south. Terminal 1. We're on the north ramp. So 118.175. Switch this over here. Alright, APU does look on. Get our APU in. Get some air for the passengers. And let's go ahead and remove our electrics here. APU is disabled.
Good morning.
We're just waiting for that 145 passengers to board and we should be all set. Oh yeah, we did have a squawk 7166. I completely forgot that.
Hello.
Alright, before I get into any issues with ATC here, our squawk is set. Select VNAV, select LNAV.
This way, please.
Our VSD can come on.
Hello.
Does seem to be a little bit smoother in terms of my performance here, but too early to tell. Our main objective is to be able to take off and land with no issues. All right, well, recording our landings with no issues.
Good morning.
While we're here, I'm gonna grab some breakfast
Boarding pass.
and wait for the boarding to complete.
Boarding pass, please. Good morning. Welcome on board. May I see your boarding pass? Good morning. Boarding pass, please.
Just a little boarding music here today. While we verify everything before our departure. Again, I am just waiting for breakfast to come to me. Not gonna get up there and go do anything right now. Let's check our legs page. 350, and we're good. Our flight plan does look okay and solid.
Boarding pass, please.
GSX is loading up our baggage. There we go. Our music, our festival. This is the perfect aircraft to fly into Jamaica with, because again, it is the Jamaican, the aircraft that does the Jamaica to Miami route. So this one is predominantly, flies out in and out of Jamaica. Alright, we're just basically on our second to last baggage cart here. Just waiting for them to do what they gotta do. Alright, we're basically on our last baggage cart with 130 passengers aboard. Looks interesting, man. I may be able to do this. If I click that button and it does unlock something. Look, I can do something here for some reason. What is the world of this? But we'll leave those. Alright, our baggage is done. Well, our rear baggage is already completed. I hate this. Looks like the Microsoft servers are starting to behave poorly right now. Alright, let's prep for pushback and departure. Packs are off. 50 set. Alright, boarding is completed. Let's go ahead and get our chocks off. Verify our doors are being closed. Does not look like they want to close my doors. Like, bro, you open them, close them, bro.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Alright, forward is closed.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Alright, just adjusting my joystick's location.
Lock
love this song, man. This song is awesome. Dual bleed is on. We're 1-0 left. So let's check our ground. Yeah, we're right there, so we're going to be pushing back, nose to our left. All right, our nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes on.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Come on, music, don't stop me here. Engine 2 started. Of the isolation. All right, let's go. Beacon light on. Our engine's not gonna turn up. Thing went back. No wonder it was not starting. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Caribbean 3-4. We're pushing back off our gate here for runway 10 left.
Please set parking brakes. Unlocking gear.
Monitoring. Set nose left. Oh my god. Took a minute to start up there, didn't you? We're being handled by Silver Airways today. Shout out to Silver.
Bypass pin removed.
Thank you so much for letting us
Left
use
is clear.
your
Right is clear.
services today. Alright, popping engine 1. Go ahead, flaps to 5. Yeah, I see you out there. That's a dude, but yet said he sounds like a woman. GSX. I mean, she's over here. I mean, he could be she speaking, and then, you know, I'm just I'm just being an idiot. All right, engine 2. Brake to RTO. Transponder TCAS to on. Let's go. TARA. Swap engine. Seatbelt signs are on. Again, dual bleed is on. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's turn up our APU bleed. The aircraft is bleeding, or getting engine or air pressure from our right engine here right now. Alright, let's check our taxi route. We're pushing, so we're going to be taxiing to runway 10 left, or 10 left via Bravo. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Caribbean 3-4, we're taxiing to runway 10 left via Bravo, Fort Lauderdale. Alright, off on our brakes, turn offs on, generator is on, APU is off. need a little power to turn off the ramp here. Because of how GSX decided to turn us or push us, we did not push all the way back onto the taxiway there. So we just gotta make a nice little turn. And line ourselves back up with the taxiway. And here we go, we're taxiing to the runway. We're on Bravo now. Alright, we're on Tango Sierra or Tango 5. We're gonna go ahead and turn off of Charlie, go onto Bravo, and then we're gonna continue our taxi all the way up. Alright, so we're taxiing now. Alright, our altimeters are set 3006. Winds are very calm out of Fort Lauderdale today. Alright, so we can get up to at least 30 knots on ground, so I'm not really worried about that. Tilde buttons. Auto throttle disengage. Tilde is on the back of the throttle quadrant there. We gotta push all the way down. This is a concrete runway, so everything looks, it's not like asphalt or asphalt where you could see, you know, where the runway is. This is all concrete, so sometimes you may mistake something like a taxiway like this for this runway, which is, you know, right now concrete. Maintaining our center line here. I think after departure I'm not going to be speaking so much. The only time I'm going to really speak is for key phases of flight, such as transition altitude, cruise altitude, so I can do my cruise checks, preparation for landing or descent preparation, and also our approach and landing. So those are the times that I'm really going to be speaking. So do not expect, you know, for me to be giving you a lot of things. I may speak on some controversial topics, but for example, our A350 that was released, an amazing aircraft, so to speak. But I think that, you know, some people are angry at the performance of the aircraft. I'm surprised, and I'm getting somewhat of a marginal or marginally proper performance out of it. And yeah, that's like our cruise stock. So we will, you know, address a few things regarding, you know, our simulators. I'm no longer on FS 2024, mainly because 2024 is not playing nice with me. So I'm not gonna be playing nice with flights in 2024. I'm not gonna spend money to pay for Game Pass and all of that just to not be able to use a sim that, you know, you paid for. Makes no sense. I think it works for me now, but I already have a bad taste in my mouth for a lot of little traffic. Caribbean 3-4, we're lining up runway 10 left. Yeah, as mentioned, I'm not gonna pay money to you know, set up my sim and do all of that. I kind of overblew my turn there. So I'm gonna have to swing around and try to get back on center line.
On runway 10 left.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, as mentioned previously, I'm not gonna spend money to Alright, so I'm on 0 left. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Caribbean 34, we're departing runway 10 left via the Reggae to departure. Climbing up the flight level, or climbing up to 8,000, right turn after departure, Fort Lauderdale. Alright, so we're all set. Let's go ahead, landing lights to on, our strobe lights to on, and we are ready to go. Packs are on for this departure, so we're moving. Thrust set. Airspeed's alive. $80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Are following our flight directors. Auto thrust is to on. We're in our climb. Fort Lauderdale traffic, Caribbean 34, we're airborne passing 1,300 for 8,000. Fort Lauderdale. Right, again, we're just following our flight directors manually right now before we switch into our auto mode or autopilot. 2,500, we will be in autopilot. All right, flaps to 2. Flaps to 1. 500. AP on. VNAV, autopilot in command. Flaps up. Alright. Taxi lights are off, turn offs are off. And we're climbing as we need. 230 knots. And we're going over to Unicom to 2 decibel A. We have no traffic in Fort Lauderdale. Our airspeed is really getting over. That was a pretty smooth takeoff. I won't lie, it went a lot smoother than what I normally have on takeoff. The aircraft is usually a little bit squirrely and moves around a lot. So I am impressed by this. So we're gonna go ahead and continue our climb up to flight level 350. 350 is set and cross-checked. And again, I'm not worried about copyright strikes or anything like that. My channel is not monetized at all. So being copyright striked for any of the music is not really a big deal for me. I'm just, playing the music so everyone enjoys it, regardless of how it happens, whatever it does. I'm not here for anything. If you guys do like the video, you can go ahead and leave a like on the video. You can subscribe for us to bring you a lot more flights like these. And also we do aerospace as well. So we do follow SpaceX. Our seatbelt signs are off. We do follow SpaceX as well. So if you guys are interested in that as well, we can also do those. All right, so there we are in our turn. All right, line of lights still off. And we are continuing up on our climb. So again, I'm gonna mute myself here and we're gonna enjoy the aircraft doing its climb out. We're gonna have, no, we're not. Yeah, we should have somewhat of a tailwind, you know, majority of the flight here. Mainly across it, but we do have a tailwind on our climb, so that's always a good thing. I wonder. No, it does not work that way. And we're good. And again, this is just a short test of the new settings that I adjusted in my BIOS to test to see if my recorder does, you know, behave itself. Apparently, what I did read online was that having my iGPU turned on is going to impact my performance because apparently the iGPU and the GPU basically, how would I say, they fight for bandwidth. In which case, I don't use my iGPU. I do have a dedicated GPU, so I turned it off, and I'm gonna see if that allows a lot more performance out of this CPU. So that's what I'm doing here today, just for this flight. I am flying for Caribbean Airlines Virtual. So I did this flight because I'm out in Fort Lauderdale for too long. I gotta get out of Fort Lauderdale and head down to the Caribbean again, so I can start flying these ATRs. And maybe doing a couple of twin otter flights in and around the Caribbean. Not sure if I'm going to be streaming that tomorrow or if I'm going to be doing that today. Again, this is just my first test flight. Depends on how the stream goes with the performance of the stream. If it does go well, then I will be streaming those. Now, back to my earlier topic regarding, you know, the Airbus A350. Now, the Airbus A350 is a relatively okay aircraft to fly. Again, it feels very, very, very troublesome to fly. It's a light, and its physics is questionable at best. Okay. What I have noticed is upon landing, there are certain times when this thing just trims out, or you know, you got a runaway and then all of a sudden you got to catch it back. But other than that, you know, performance wise, I would suggest you guys not downloading any liveries unless you guys have a high performance PC and you guys need 8K. Don't download the liveries from the Inibil's manager, because those liveries are highly detailed. And I downloaded a couple of liveries. Here we go, beyond 18,000. So we're gonna go with standard set, verify on our check here. All right, so it's standard, check. Standard on 3, we're good. All right, so yeah, what I was saying is that the A350, when I downloaded the liveries from FlightSim, not FlightSim.co, but from the Inibil's manager or the Ini manager, that was one of the worst experiences of my life. It literally, let me get my VSD off. this thing literally killed my performance so bad that it was unflyable. I could not record, I couldn't do anything. Landing was a hassle, but then when I downloaded, I tested a flight with the flightsim.co version, and apparently they again, it's at a lower quality, but the performance that I had from it was so remarkable that I sat there like, why in the world am I downloading from any manager? So from now on, I'm definitely going to be grabbing all of my liveries from flightsim.co for the A350. So if you guys see me flying in the A350, more or less, I am flying one of our, or more than likely, I am flying an A350 that is, or a livery that is from flightsim.co. Right now, I don't have much flights to have done for any of my VAs in, Flight Simulator right now. I got United Virtual to do one flight for, which I am going to do a flight to Dominica in the 737. I'm traveling at the end of this month, like in about 20 days. There is an aircraft below me that's climbing. Trying to get some good views, but I'm not. Wow, that does not instill any form of confidence, bro. Oh, finally, you guys are fixed. Trying to get a nice quick view. Ah. Quickly takes me back to the cockpit when I right click. Alright. Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play some these music are gonna be copyrighted, so don't think that they're not. But I'm gonna mute the simulator right now, and then we're gonna go ahead and listen to some music while we climb out and fly down to Jamaica today. Alright, so I'm muting myself right now, and enjoy the flight.
How could you stay like that? Oh, what a waste it's been. When you could be there, I'm not here. So lo and behold, my truth, I've been feeling like I could lose. I said all I needed was another lost day. So try me once, bend me back again. I said, try me once, and you bend my back again. I'm breaking down, say you come back and hold me now. Wish I never let you hurt me. Did you like it? So try me second words, I know that you tried, but you can't erase what's all in my mind. So lo and behold, my truth, I don't need anything from you. I said all I needed was another lost day. So try me once, bend me back again. I said try me once, and you bend my back again. I'm breaking down, say you come back and hold me now. Wish I never let you hurt me. Did you like it? So try me once, bend me back again. I said try me once, and you bend my back again. I'm breaking down, say you come back and hold me now. Wish I never let you hurt me. Did you like it? It's midnight. We've been out here for hours underneath the starlight. I'm tired, but I don't wanna close my eyes. 'Cause I might miss this. Time is going way too fast. I'm gonna blink and this will all be in the past. Wait a second while I think. A picture in my head, I wanna see this moment forever, 'cause it'll fade away. And I just wanna remember the way that the light hits your face. And I just wanna remember the way that the light hits your face.
Alrighty, it does look like we're gonna have Kingston Center online. So that's gonna be an interesting thing. Kingston radar. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and continue our flight here. I'm gonna shut up again. We're elapsed like about 27 minutes in our flight, and we are still on our way to Jamaica.
Roots can't take hold, 'cause I didn't fit. Can't see the way out through all my tears. I know they always say to hold on for better days. I didn't think that I could make it. Came close to giving up every
is what it means to be alive. Yep. Let's see if we can go ahead and prep our arrival here today. Gonna check to see what our arrival looks like. Expected approach ILS runway 07. Oh no. I believe we're gonna be runway 12 today. What our arrival looks like. All right, runway 12. What the hell? What in the world? No relay this. All right, so we'll still go for runway 12. We can do an LSR 5 to save them. All right. Let's runway 12 via Hasbro. All right. LSR 5. Save them. Hasbro. We'll be vectored in today. Let's check our plan. See the kind of wild things we're gonna be seeing here. Step. Okay. Alright, let's step in from Savum, Xenon, B300, Elisir, then back over to Havbo, then back over to Xenon. Gotta remove that. And then save them back to save them. There's a. Let's see. Save up the 9 Pino. We're just verifying our thing here because it looks like. Okay, let's see. Save him. We're making a circle and then we're coming back in. Why? Let's remove the 3. Let's pop C9 in here. There we go. Alright, so we have just fixed our route and we should be okay for our arrival. Let's check our progress bar here. We're atop of descent in 180 miles. We're going to continue listening to our music while I have my breakfast.
Wiping off your tattoos on your thighs. Drunk off something I vaguely remember. It tasted like whiskey and rye. Get it out of your system, throwing up on the pavement. Hold your hair, I'm laughing, but my stomach's turning. Punk band playing Black Flag, my shirt faded chrome bags. Lead singer with dog tags, and you and me. Do we need somebody just to feel like we're alright? Is the only reason you're holding me tonight? 'Cause we're scared to be lonely. Even just for a minute. You make me feel good. I like it. Even just for a minute. You make me feel good. Taking the lights off to help with the pressure. And now it's you stressing, thinking it matter. Stay with you for hours, but it feels like seconds. It's only moments and I'm in heaven. It's only moments and I'm in heaven. Oh, you make me feel good. You make me feel good. You make me feel good. I like it. Take my hand in the middle of a crisis. Pull me close, show me baby with the lightings. I was scared of a heart I couldn't silence, but you make me feel good. I like it. I miss the ways you would say you wanted me. Call me over, pull me closer, and kiss me like you and I were 17. Why does it seem like you don't remember? You call me when you're coming down, say you never let me down. Those nights you tried to calm me down, even though I know you just say that. Those are words you can't take back. This is for the hearts on fire, out of control. We
Alrighty, yo guys, so we are over Cuba right now. We're just crossing over Cuba, and we're heading over to the island of Jamaica. Right now we are just at flight level 350 holding, and we should be in Jamaica in the next half hour to 45 minutes, if all goes well. Again, so this is just a short test of our new settings that we did set up on the on our PC. Now again, I made an adjustment in my BIOS to disable the iGPU. Not sure why I had it turned on in the first place. I don't need it. So depends on how this works. If we do have proper performance in terms of when we fly in and land, then that means that it was a success. If it still does the same shit, I'm sorry, if it still does the same things, then we are definitely going to have to make adjustments to this. Our thing is on still. We need to make adjustments to either upgrading our CPU, upgrading our motherboard with the CPU. But then again, that does cost money. After my travels on the 28th, because it's about 20 days from now. After my travel on the 28th, when I get back, I am definitely going to be upgrading this entire system. Going to be changing the motherboard, CPU. I'm not going to change the RAM because 32 gigs is already plenty enough. I'm not going to change the GPU. We may upgrade to an RTX 20 series, 2080, or if I can get a 1080 Ti at a very reasonable rate, I'll go ahead with the 1080. I don't need frame gen. I don't need all of these types of great stuff that you guys are running right now just to get some more performance. Frame generation is just a big gimmick, and although it's pretty nice, I don't need it. Right now, I am on my GTX 980. I'm getting some impressive performance. For the most part, I think all I gotta do is just upgrade the CPU. I could just upgrade the CPU in this and just keep my motherboard as is. But I want to upgrade the motherboard, maybe get something like an 8th or a 9th gen i7 with more space, better performance in terms of how the aircraft or my sim is going to be running. Um, that way, I can bring better looking videos to you guys, because my flights in the Caribbean are awesome. I'm also going to try to get a yoke and a throttle quadrant as well. I'm going to spend a little bit of money. I'm expected to spend at least 500 US, well, not 500, I'm expecting to spend at least $1,000 just to get these things in here. I'll do them one at a time. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do one more test of this system, which is I'm going to get the highest generation i7 K series processor that I can get for this motherboard. And I'm also going to order a motherboard and CPU combo, something that is 9th gen. That way, I can have a motherboard and CPU at the same time, so I don't need to, I get a good bargain or a good deal, depends on what I find. If not, then I'm just gonna go ahead and have to go with buying a motherboard and buying CPU separate. So we will see. I might buy the CPU and the GPU, upgrade both of them, and see if our system will remain stuttery as it is. If not, and then we are able to get that sweet frames going, then we'll keep it as is, not a problem. But for now, my sim is still performing well. Again, there is, look at that. Look at how beautiful that looks. And again, this is from a GTX 980. If you guys are wondering, this is definitely a GTX 980. One of the pioneers, or one of the flagship cards. It's not a TI variant, but look at how smooth that is. This is, you gotta respect the older cards, man. All right, we see land out there. That's all Jamaica. We are expecting to, there's our top of descent. And it's offline. All right, so we don't have any ATC headed into Jamaica. So looks like we're all just gonna be flying in pretty smooth with no issues. All right, it's about to rain in Dominica. I'm definitely not gonna fly to Dominica right now. Not sure why Jamaica went offline. Maybe he had some work to do. Come spend like about half an hour to an hour, then leave. All right, it's getting windy here today. Let's check our charts here. We're descending down 4,000 at Kino. Yep. So we gotta go ahead and enter that in our CDFM, our MCP. I'm sorry, I forgot everything. $4,000 is entered, and we'll just wait for the aircraft to start its descent while we listen to our music. Imagine it's just only elapsed about an hour, and we're already descending into Jamaica. This is a pretty short flight, really cool. Alright, just checking our overhead panel here, making sure that everything is good for our descent today. Alright, so we are going to go ahead with auto brake 2 for this landing. Let's go ahead and use our performance calculation here. Alright, all this is unnecessary right now. Minute rep. We're going to use SimBrief to calculate our alignment performance. Flaps 30 with reverse. Flaps 30, approach 144. Keep it at 145, perfect. Again, it is raining here in Dominica. I was gonna do a flight, but it's raining too much. I'm not gonna bother with that flight in Dominica to do any line of landings on that runway. All right, so yeah, we're heading down to Jamaica. I speak. I was just doing a little test of my a few settings that a few adjustments that I made in my BIOS. I disabled my iGPU to see if I could get some more bandwidth out of my CPU. Because apparently my iGPU being turned on is actually robbing some of my GPU bandwidth, or my memory bandwidth, so to speak. Or I should say my CPU bandwidth. I did this test just because every time I land, my recording itself stutters a lot. And usually it's not what you see, but the OBS tends to stutter my entire landings, man. I hate when it happens, but it does not depict exactly what I see because sometimes I'll be looking at my screen, I'm getting a stable 30 FPS, and OBS stutters right on landing, which is unrealistic for me. So I'm just freeing up some CPU bandwidth.
Yeah, I doubt myself, and I'm too proud to rise for help. When you see me
But
beside
for now, again, the performance is always pretty good with my sim here. If you look at it, it's pretty smooth for what I have. And again, I did upgrade my RAM. I upgraded my RAM to 32 gigabytes from the 28 gigabytes, and I still was experiencing the little stutters. Again, because of the type of CPU that I'm running, it's an i5. i5s are mainly for business PCs and just doing general work, but not for gaming. So I've got to, as a low specs gamer or a budget gamer, I should say, I had to make a lot of adjustments and try my best to get it done. Oh, nice. I'm supposed to be flying a little bit later. I'm supposed to go pick up a vehicle in a little bit, um, but I'm not 100% sure how that is gonna go. Um, so I'm doing most of my flights today with Caribbean Airlines virtual, and we are heading down to Jamaica. But yeah, after I land here, I'm just gonna follow up with them and verify, what the situation with the vehicle is saying, and then I will determine if I'm gonna be flying down to St. Martin, and then from there I know I can do my ATR flights within the Caribbean. All right, so we're below 18,000. If you guys notice, I just switched over to the area QNH 3003, and we are going in for this approach. It's going to be on ILS runway 12. If you notice, we are experiencing a little bit of turbulence here. This is clear air turbulence. This is something that happens in the Caribbean, especially around this time. It's hot, so you are to expect some turbulence now and then when you're approaching. It's something that you have to be actively looking out for, and it's something that we always look out for and expect, especially on landing. Yeah, I always fly for the VA. That's one of the things that I always do. If you notice the amount of flights that I have done for it, I've done more flights for Caribbean Airlines Virtual than any other VA that I have on VAMSIS, really. Because I love flying the ATRs. The 737s, I don't really fly them that much, but the ATRs are an awesome flying experience, really. So. All right, so for Jamaica, we're expecting some turbulence upon landing. If I am going to go ahead and pull up my Navigraph charts here, I'm going to look at my ground charts for Jamaica. Let's see. We're looking to break and get off on Delta. Hopefully we can get down there. We're not going to slam on the brake all the way down. We're going to try to get off on Delta. That's the next one. If we don't, we got Echo to turn in and head over to Apron 1. So all that is planned. Right now, just checking our overhead, making sure that everything is where it needs to be, and verifying that bleeds are all set. Checking our cabin pressure, our cabin rate, and our cabin altitude. All right, so initially we're gonna go at 4,000. Now it's gonna be an ILS approach. With this aircraft, it's very, very, very touchy with ILSs, so I have it auto-tuned because whenever I attempt to auto-tune it, it tends to do whatever it wants. So I don't like the auto-tuning thing. Or I don't like to add my tuning myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to tune our ILS here today. Let's open that chart overlay. 109.1. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. So that is entered. Let's put it in R2. There we go. We're gonna set up our course. Our course for today is 1, 2, 3. Very original. Gonna set it up on the co-pilot side as well. Check our VSD. We're going down. Good. Oh, too much. For some reason, it's turning around here, which it's not supposed to. I'm guessing it's for speed requirements. Again, this is something that the aircrafts will do. I was expecting it somewhat to do a turn like this. Apparently the aircraft did notice that it would not make it down in time, so it is making that circle around because there is also a turnaround here, right at around this area here where we're going to spin around to be able to maintain our vertical speed here, or maintain our descent rate to keep up with our descent profile. So whenever it does things like that, I allow it to do what it's doing. And I just know that we're going to come back around here. Apparently the FMC is not programming that properly because I deleted it right here and it still kept with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in as whenever it happens, I've just got to, just go direct and just be done with it. Again, in real life, this does not happen, but at the time, I was not looking at my my display here. I was mainly changing a few things here, so this kind of went off a little bit, but I already knew it was here. I just did not expect for it to do all this wild business. This is just iFly's way they're doing it. After this music is done, we're gonna be fully on our, there we go, 5,500. It's waiting for this to come down. And there we go. All our points are coming in. All right, here it comes. Alright, so we are going to be a lot more focused now on our aircraft and everything that's going on here. Alright, getting down to 10,000 feet. Just waiting for 10,000. Again, I am aware that there was like a circle right here. There was a how would I say? There was a waypoint right here that I removed. The waypoint made me come in here, made a left turn and bank around. So I am aware that it was here. I deleted it, but it looks like the aircraft still thought that it was in here. So for some reason, they need to fix that one little mistake that was right here. They need to fix that because sometimes it'll fly or go through. And I'm guessing that was the same thing that happened to you, Ryan, when you were flying the Max. Get our landing lights on. We're at 10,000. I'm guessing that's what happened to you while you were flying the Max as well, where the aircraft started just flying off into the great beyond, because there most likely you deleted a waypoint and it kept following it, thinking that it's still there when the flight plan or the nav display was showing otherwise. So. It's always something that you always got to be able to pre-plan for certain things like this, and if this was like a longer flight, if this was like a longer flight, then you know, and it had to do all these kinds of wild things, and I removed something, and it flew all the way up, let's say, all the way up to Miami, then back all the way down to Cuba, that would be one of the most annoying things ever. So, um, let's go to level change here. I need to get down. I'm not gonna allow for it to wait until this gets all the way it needs to be. Yeah, so they definitely need to fix that. Because again, I deleted it, it still made it, it still made that round, and that makes no sense. All right, so we're getting down to 5,500. All right, let's increase our range here. And we are prepared for almost anything. Again, we are going to expect some turbulence right around this area here. The heat, when it comes off the, especially when the sea breeze, the ocean breeze comes in, it's going to roll in a lot of heat. And it's going to build up around here. And the area is going to be pretty hot, so there are going to be some thermals that are going to be rising up around here. So we're going to be expecting a little bit of turbulence while well, right now we are experiencing some turbulence, but we're going to expect a little bit more when we fly in around this area right here all the way down to the airport. So that's something that I'm already pre-planning for before we actually approach and land, because I don't want to be flying in like Dominica. Dominica is basically the same thing. Once you get right up to runway 27, about 500 feet, there is like some heavy turbulence that happens, and it kind of throws you off. Same thing happens when you are also landing from 09, but the turbulence that happens is more up in the mountains. That does a lot of weird things with you. All right, let's. There's an error. That's what happens. I knew it. Yeah, it's not gonna behave. So, it's not like I can fly the aircraft manually. I mean, it will automatically switch it. From what I am aware of, it'll automatically switch the ILS frequencies. But it's annoying that, you know, when you try to switch through. When you switch through, it does not want to behave. There we go. Oh, well, it was my fault then. Definitely my fault. All right, well, there it is. You learn something new every day. All right. Well, then my flying this aircraft is apparent that I don't really fly that often, but okay, we get it down to 4,000, and as expected, we are getting those thermals right around this area, as I mentioned earlier on. Something that is definitely expected when you're flying around the Caribbean. So we're turning inbound on. Well, now let's go ahead and reduce our airspeed to about 210. We're still way above our descent profile, our VNAV profile, so I mean I can slow down right now. And here we are with our turbulence, the turbulence that we are expecting. All right, here's our localizer. Again, it's always good practice to always be ahead of your aircraft and never behind it, because the aircraft definitely will get away from you a lot of the times if you're planning with the aircraft at the same time. So you always gotta prepare for everything before it happens. All right, let's reduce our speedy gear to 200. Let's get our first degree of flaps down. It's a little bit early, but flaps in extend. Normal traffic, Caribbean 3-4, we're on arrival for runway 12, Normal. Alright, so here we go, turning in, and is our localizer live yet? It's not, but we are going to go ahead and should we engage our approach mode? No. Flaps to 2, reduce our airspeed here to 170. Warlock and our localizer is captured. And Manly traffic, Caribbean 3-4, we're established on the localizer, or the ILS currently for runway 12, Manly. Alright, so it says established, but it's not. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and continue down, reducing our speed to It says Warlock here, it's still not connected to, it's still not on the proper ILS. If you notice, we're off to the side a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and get the aircraft on profile, or here we go, headed slow back, not good. Oh. Alright, and this is where we go manual for most of the flight here because we are getting down below our glide profile. Alright. Alright, and we're just going to fly this aircraft down manual. Flaps 25. Alright, so we're going to go ahead with our landing checklist. Landing gear down and lock 3 greens. Our flaps select 25 right now, going down to 30. And our ground spoilers are not yet armed, but we're going to be arming our ground spoilers right now. Nope. Wherever it goes. And our landing checklist is complete. Our go around altitude is also set at 4,000. That's something that I missed on my checklist. But I'm going based upon, you know, memory items and not, you know, watching a physical checklist right here. Alright, so I'm just trying to get back down on my glide profile. And if you notice, the localizer is off to the left. That's a bug with the scenery itself. So it's a false localizer.
2500.
But the glide slope is correct. I'm just using my trim here to maintain a stable glide path coming in. Like pretty far out, and my aircraft is fully configured already. And look at our winds. Yeah, I'm playing around with my trim a lot. That way I can release a lot of the pressure on my joystick here, so that I don't have a lot of back pressure or forward pressure on my stick to keep it level here. Alright, here comes our glide. Alright, if you guys see what is going on here with my my flight controls, I'm literally battling it to keep it stable. I'm doing pretty small or minor inputs here. Kingston traffic, Caribbean 3-4, we are on final for runway 12, Kingston. Alright. So... Alright, there goes our trim. Look how simple that looks.
1,000.
So let me get a swole head while I land here. Alright.
Approaching. 1, 2.
Alright, here we go. And here comes the localizer. Alright, we're below on glide. This is our trim here.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue. Alright.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Oh
Long
wow.
landing. Long landing.
And
1,200 meters remaining. 600 remaining. 300 remaining.
alright, we made it. Basically what happened there was my auto throttle started going up on me. And I definitely didn't want to do a go around here.
Thirty meters remaining.
Alright, whenever you're turning, especially on these types of locations, you are going to want to need to turn on your end. On the, like, this is basically the type of turns you want to do. You want to turn towards whoever is operating the aircraft at the time. Alright, so spoilers down. Alright, and let's go ahead and get our APU set on.
Approaching. 30.
Alright, normally this was a very long landing, but I knew that the aircraft is pretty light and it's able to make that. So we're gonna go off here on Echo. That was our secondary.
On runway.
We definitely
30.
had to take Echo here. So getting off on Echo, turning right here, landing lights to off, and get off our strobe lights. Alright, get rid of this annoying thing, and here we are. Yeah, it is. The localizer is offset by a lot, and when you're coming in, it gives you a false glides or a false localizer. I'm guessing it's mainly something with the scenery itself, but I am not. Let's switch over to our thing here, and let's go ahead and get our APU cleared, switch our packs off, and let the APU do what it's doing. Alright, so welcome to Jamaica, guys. Oh, my flap's going up right now. Again, it is hot, so, and there's our parking spot. Very nice and convenient. Alright, and we are directly on the center line here. Hopefully we are able to park properly. master caution here. Alright, on the brakes. Yep, there we go. Alright, parking brake is set, and our taxi lights were supposed to go off by the time we got in, but kept it on, it's okay. Alright, so now auto brake to off. Whoa. Okay. Look at what's going on. Look at look at exactly what's going on there. This is something that I also dislike about this aircraft. It still keeps rolling. All right, our engines are off. It did pull us a little bit forward, not a little bit, by a lot. But we should be okay right where we're at. We almost actually hit this. We almost hit that. All right, so our parking checklist now is in effect. The collision lights are set to off, flaps are up, in idle, and speed brake is off. Alright, and let's go ahead now to our menu, system page, system menu, and let's go ahead and get our ground support. Shocks, not sure why I put the nose gear, and our electrics. Alright, here we go, and get our APU off as soon as possible so that we limit the amount of time that we have spent on with our APU going on. And now we're just going to go ahead and pop GSX on. Again, this pulled me in a lot more. Now let's go ahead and deport it. Yeah, we kind of rolled in a little bit too much there. We rolled so far. Oh my god. I should have used my reverse and allowed it to do whatever it needs to do. Well, we're here. We got here safe. Let's check our landing rate here today. Touchdown minus 182. It's way better than touching down at over 200. I definitely want to see how far. Look at that. The aircraft literally rolled forward a little bit because when I hit the brake, I had my finger on my brake trigger, so it automatically disables because I have it on simple brake. So once you keep your finger on that brake and you engage your parking brake, it's going to disable it immediately. So something to learn as well. All right, well, we got here safely, minus exactly what just almost transpired with our aircraft. At least we didn't damage anything. At least. That's the best thing. Alrighty, so I am hoping that we are all done. Let's go ahead and file our PIREP. There we go. Got 40 PIREPs already with Caribbean Virtual. Oh, definitely. I am gonna grab something to eat out here in the airport. I may take a little walk out and visit some spots and maybe see if I could get some pretty good food, and then do another flight out. Hopefully that goes a lot better than what happened. I think I'm gonna definitely start disabling the auto throttle, because as soon as I start landing, this thing starts flying off like no tomorrow. So we'll make it. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me here today with this flight. If the stuttering were gone, then definitely what I did fixed it. So yeah, me then. I think I should definitely investigate a little bit more about it, and then try to post something for you guys to, keep an eye out for. Maybe make some adjustments to your own system. Um, to come on, get off, turn off those emergency lights. Yeah, so make that same thing to your, or make those adjustments to your systems as well. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and have a great day.